my name is Orb, and I wanted to talk about how I personally started and am now taking commissions. I've been doing commissions for about 4 years now, and I feel like I've learned a lot that I can talk about. I don't really have that much else to say, just thank you. My last video on my art process ended up helping a lot of people, and if this video ends up helping you too, then let me know. Let me know. Okay, first let's set up our commissions and then draw. So first of all, you're gonna make sure you have a good place set up where your clients can find your commission sheet nice and easily. You want a place where people can easily see the examples and prices of your work. For this part, I like to use Ko-fi or Coffee, however you pronounce it, because it already has a pre-built-in commission feature. Other examples I frequently see are Google Docs and also Card.co. I've made my commission info with both of them in the past. Personally, I prefer Card because it feels more like a personal website, but honestly both of these work fine and it's whatever works best for you. Now is a great time to decide what payment methods you're gonna go for. Back in 2020, I would take payment in Animal Jam items, and that was really stupid. Regarding payment, I like to accept mine through Ko-fi's PayPal transactions, and if you're currently not above 18, which is PayPal's age requirement, then you can just use the PayPal account of your parents, like me. Regarding pricing, obviously don't underprice yourself. You want to get your money's worth for however much time you're putting your effort in. Take into consideration how busy you are, if you have other plans outside of drawing, yada yada yada. Remember that you're also putting your own personal time into drawing commissions for other people, and that time is really valuable. Setting prices at the start was really intimidating for me, so what I did was slowly raise the prices over time. So the next step for me is to establish to the buyer what they'd be expecting, and what I'm comfortable with drawing. This is also known as your terms of service, TOS for short. For example, I let them know that if they have an overcomplicated character, like with a lot of details, then I would likely be simplifying some aspects. I'm leaving this in as a quick thing for people who buy art commissions. I love it when you guys do the little stickman examples of what you want the drawing to be on MS Paint. They are genuinely way more helpful to me than you'd expect. By this point, you'll have a nice portfolio with prices, and now you would be ready to promote and sell your artwork. Sometimes, whether it's because you have a large platform already or got really lucky, you can start getting customers immediately. But most of the time, it's gonna take a while before you start getting consistent customers. And that's okay. You can slowly and steadily start building up your reputation, and in the meantime, I'd just recommend drawing what you like and focus on improving your art. If a customer decides that they're gonna buy a commission from me, then I'd receive a private message with all of the information I would need to get started and finish the commission. In my case, this would include the additional details where it says, I don't need a specific pose or expression, just make it happy. You can see that below, they've also attached images of which would be references of their character. Now, on one hand, it would be pretty easy to have all of your tabs sorted out like this, where you go back and forth on them for references. Or, alternatively, you could have something like this, your own personalized, customizable character sheet. Okay, think of the absolute best place you can use to get all of your drawings organized. Just the absolute pinnacle. The best. The besto. The... Hi! Milanote is back, again, and they're here to show us how great and useful they can be. I use this to put all my references and ideas in one place where you can plan things out in a comfortable and fast way. I mentioned this in my last video with Milanote, but I love the fact that it can be a board that visually makes sense to me. Lately, I've been using Milanote to organize my commissions better, which I especially prefer when I need to work on more than one or two things. I generally use Milanote to create mood boards and plan for my drawings, like the one I did here recently. I've actually been using Milanote since the start of this year. When they reached out to me once, that was cool. And then when they reached out to me a second time, oh my god, hello. With the thing that you just saw me assemble, I was able to make this other thing with it. Using Milanote's web clipper extension, as long as it's an image, I can gather visual inspiration from anywhere on the internet. And you can always go back to the original place for more if you'd like by clicking on the source link. If an empty board is intimidating, then don't worry. You can start off with pre-built templates that Milanote has made exclusively for artists. Examples being their visual art project plan or mood board templates. You can go to milanote.com/orb0924 to sign up for Milanote for the high price of nothing! It's free. Thank you to Milanote for helping me and you organize our projects. So, we are back. And now I'm gonna actually just talk over some of this footage of me working on commissions. One thing that I didn't put initially and that I want to talk about now is that you also want to know what you are going to offer. And the way that a lot of people like to break it down is into you would get your headshots or profile icons, which usually goes down to the character's shoulders. Then you'll have a half body or a thigh up where it'll go, you know, up to the character's maybe hips. And finally, it'll be a full body where you will be drawing basically the entire character from head to toe. Me personally, right now I only have two options, which is the full body art where they get an entire drawing of their character, or you'll have this other option where I make a full drawing with like this pixel pen. And for that one, I typically offer up to like half bodies. You also want a good line of communication, whether it's through DMs or email. I wouldn't get them mixed up with the DMs that you use regularly, like on Discord, because then it can be really messy to get organized. You should have an account dedicated to your clients for commissions, and just communicate with them. If you have any doubts, it's always important to ask, especially in your sketching phase. That way, you won't need to go back and correct things afterwards. If I ever make bigger commissions, I'll always remember to send progress pictures to the client. This way, midway through, if they see something that they would like changed or altered, then I can easily do that. I don't do this much with like the painting style commissions because it's really easy for me to just add whatever they want onto it afterwards because I do painting. Unless the character has some really complicated aspects of it, if I'm not simplifying them, then I will send progress pictures to the buyer. And also, artists, please, please show us your commission prices even if they are closed. Sometimes I'll see some really cool art that I'm interested in buying, and even if the commissions are closed, I can always come back with the right amount of money once they're open again. It's nice to know going in beforehand how much someone's commissions are, so I know how much I need to either save or prepare for whenever I decide to commission an artist. I said this a little bit earlier, but I'll elaborate more on it. To keep track of all of my commissions, I really like using Milanote. I made a little board with 3 different sections. One of them is paid, meaning that someone has already placed an order. I have working on, which is like the ones that I'm working on, and then the ones that I finished, I just move over here. And also just, you know, I can get my references in the same place. Overall, communication is one of those really important things that you need to keep in mind of when you're doing a commission. To make it more clear for the buyer as well, I would recommend stating how long it usually takes per piece. For example, mine usually take about 1 to 3 days, but on other weeks when I'm busy, it can take up to at most a week. You can just add that onto your terms of service and keep it as an important note to the buyer. You're also going to want to take your commissions in batches, or slots, as how I like to call them. What this means is that you're only going to take up a max amount of commissions at a time so that you don't get overwhelmed with too many things to do. I like to take maybe 2 to 4 commissions at a time, but sometimes I'll bump it up to 5 if I have a lot of free time. And yeah, you can basically go from there. I've made my reference board right here of the character. This character is from JD163 hiiii, thank you. And we're just gonna put this aside. So now we can actually start drawing. I'm just gonna sketch out a general idea of the pose I want. I'm gonna scale this up so that it fits the canvas. Now with the sketch done, I can just start on the line art quick and easily. I remember before I used to hate drawing hands, and now I think I like it just a little bit more. What I do a lot of the time for drawing, you might notice, is that I don't really zoom in, because that way I can work a lot faster by just looking at the bigger picture. Otherwise, I'll spend hours just looking at every single little detail, and then when I zoom out, it's barely noticeable. I think I'm gonna start shading now. I'm always gonna try adding some complementary colors to some areas. Just go ahead and take your time with it, have fun. Have fun with your commission art. You deserve to like and enjoy the process of drawing. If you're an artist and you ever feel lost, just take a minute, go get some water, come back, and things will be okay. Ooh, I think I'm gonna add some like pink purple to these darker areas. Go ahead and just play with some of the color and accessories in your style. Oh, I nearly forgot. Glasses. It was also shown in the reference that this character had like water powers, so I'm gonna make her do some fancy water majig up here. Whoa, magic water. Adding some extra effects just to make it look cooler. Yay! And there you go. Hooray! So, a couple of things have happened. First of all,
If your plushie just got a 7-day extension, by the time this video is out, there should be 5 days left.
it's on Makeshift. They're super awesome to work with. Yeah. Secondly, I got sent a new tablet, which is huge. I'll talk a little bit more about that in my next video, and by the time this video's up, I am going to immediately start working on the next one. School's been a lot, life has been a lot, but in a good way. In my VR drawing video where I drew with WonderNet, I mentioned at some point that I wanted to try out some new recipes. That way I can just pack from home and I didn't need to buy lunch at school. Firstly, thank you for taking the time out of your day to leave those comments, and secondly, I have tried, I think, almost all of them, given a lot of them were just sandwich recipes, but hey, they're quick, they're easy, and they're really good. Thank you to everyone who posted recipes that contain chicken. I really like chicken. You gotta get the protein, man. Dude, 2024 went by so quickly. In 3 months, it's gonna be 2025. So much cool stuff is happening, and it's genuinely just all thanks to you. So thank you. Thank you so, so much. You guys deserve nothing but nice things in life. Okay, take care, everyone.